Hello, friends. Today's topic, the 2 degree course error that changed a captain's career. It's 0400 hours. The bridge was quiet. Only the steady hum of the radar and the sound of waves touching the hull broke the silence. The vessel was crossing the Indian Ocean. Weather was good. Engines were performing normally. Cargo were secured. Everything looked perfect. Then the second officer noticed something. The vessel was 2 degree, of course, just 2 degree, not 20, not 50, 2. A small correction on the autopilot, nothing urgent, nothing dramatic. The vessel was still making a good speed, still burning fuel within limits, still heading generally towards destination. The officer adjusted the course and continued his watch. Problem solved, or so he thought. A few hours later, a master walked onto the bridge. He looked at the track history. Then he smiled. Interesting. The officer looked confused. What happened, Captain? The master pointed at the screen. Nothing happened. The officer relaxed. Then the master said something unexpected. That's exactly why this is dangerous. The officer stared at the screen. The deviation looked insignificant. The master folded his arms. Do you know why ship rarely get into trouble because of one big mistake? The officer shook his head because most problem begins with small deviations. Nobody thinks are important. The bridge become quiet again. The master continued. If that 2 degree deviation continued for several days, where would we be? The officer started calculating. A few moments later, his eyes widened. The ship would have been hundreds of miles away from the intended tracks. Same vessel, same crew, same weather, completely different destination. The master nodded. Exactly. Then he pointed toward the horizon. Life works the same way. The officer smiled politely. But the captain wasn't talking about navigation anymore. He was talking about patterns. Patterns nobody notices. The alarm that rings at 0600 hours. The snooze button pressed for 5 more minutes. 5 minutes become 40. The training course postponed until next month. Difficult email delayed until tomorrow. The performance report left unfinished. The competency exam preparation that starts next week. The bridge was silent. The lesson was getting heavier. The master continued. Most officers think careers are built by promotions. They were not. Careers are built by patterns. He pointed again at the electronic chart. Just like ship follow course, people follow habit. The officer looked down because he knew exactly what the captain meant. Every morning he promised to study. Every evening he postponed it. Every week he planned. Every week he delayed. The master spoke softly. The danger is not the mistake, the danger is repeating it until it feels normal. For a moment, nobody said anything. The radar continued spinning. The sea remained calm. Then the captain shared a story. Years ago, I sailed with a chief officer who wanted a command. Brilliant officer, hardworking, knowledgeable. Everyone said he would become master soon. The officer listened carefully. But every difficult task had the same answer. The master paused. Tomorrow, tomorrow I will study. Tomorrow I will improve. Tomorrow I will prepare. Years passed. Others become masters. He remained where he was. Not because he lacked intelligence, not because he lacked opportunity, because comfort Keep winning the conversation. The officer looked toward the dark horizon. He understood now. The real battle wasn't between ship and sea, it was between growth and comfort. The master nodded toward the chart again. You don't need a massive course alteration. You don't need notice the deviation early. Then he offered one final piece of advice. Whenever you catch yourself repeating a habit, ask one question. The officer waited. The master smiled. Would the officer you want to become make this choice? The answer came instantly. The officer unlocked his phone, not to check social media, not to scroll. He opened his note application and wrote down the chapter he would study after watch. Outside, the vessel continued toward her destination. Inside, someone had quietly corrected a different course, and that course correction would travel much farther than any ship ever could. Thank you.